Alright, gonna do another video here. Originally, I had said that we were doing this series on some budget knives. We've already done something on the Sitivien here. We looked at the Sitivien Backlash. We looked at the Sitivien Praxis with the Damascus blade. Now, originally my plan here was to move on to this next knife, San Remu, I don't know, but this next Chinese-made knife, and then do an unboxing of the Ned Foss. But I actually just got another knife in, and since I did two Sitivens, one regular steel blade and then one with the Damascus, I thought that it would make sense to also look at another Sitivien that also has a Damascus blade, so you kind of have that same comparison. So I'm actually going to fit in the middle of all this another unboxing and review video on this knife here. So I'm going to go ahead and get these out of the way, and we'll go ahead and take a look at this. So this just came in today. I have not yet looked at this knife. So we'll be unboxing it here and kind of seeing what our thoughts are. So it looks like it comes with a cleaning cloth, which I'm finding a lot more knives are doing now. Now this thing is really thin, flimsy cloth. So definitely not a feeling of quality there, but it's a cleaning cloth to just wipe down the blade. So, you know, no big deal there. It looks like this also has, I don't know if that's real leather or not, but a leather pouch. It does look like leather. So it comes with a little leather pouch. Now there's no belt clip or anything on that, so I'm not sure how you're intended to carry that unless you just, I guess, put the whole thing in your pocket, which is a pocket knife, so I guess you could do that. Go ahead and get this out of the way. So I probably should have prepared for this unboxing video by having some of the specs ready to go. I don't. This is all going to be from memory. From when I purchased it. But this has of course, wood handle here. Just at first kind of glance and look, I mean, I'm fairly impressed with it. You can see here that the blade is fairly well centered. Looking at the tip here. That generally is a really easy, quick way to kind of tell if there's really cheap quality control and craftsmanship on a knife is an off-center blade. So it's good to see that that's not the case right off the bat. It does come with a little piece of leather strapping here through the lanyard hole. That'll probably be coming off right away. I'm not at all interested in keeping that on there. This is kind of interesting though. In the spine here, there's some kind of decorative file work, which I didn't know would be on there. I kind of like the look of that. That's pretty cool. I can tell you right now, I'm not going to like the fact that it does not have a deep carry pocket clip. You can see there that this whole section of the knife is going to stick out of your pocket. Some people don't mind that, and it's not the end of the world, but I do prefer the deep carry clip. This is not reversible at all, so you're going to be carrying it, you know, right hand pocket, tip up. Now, this is supposed to be, that's my first time opening it right there. I will say from that first flick open, you can definitely tell it has ball bearings. It does have a ball bearing action there. And you can feel that, definitely. Now, their take on Damascus is a little bit different than what we had with the Sitivien. So Sitivien is a true 110 layer Damascus. The whole blade is made out of Damascus. Now, the way that this Sitivien does their Damascus is it's actually a San Mai type construction. So they have 33 layer Damascus on either side, and it's basically sandwiching a VG10 core. So the steel that the actual edge is made out of is a VG10. So we'll see how that does. VG10, I've had good experiences with it. Everything from pretty decent mid-grade steel to not so great. So I'm assuming a lot of that depends on the heat treat. We'll see how that goes. Now I'm noticing here on that edge, it already looks like there's a little bit of surface rust or something on that edge. I don't know if you can see that on the video or not, but there is right on that edge. There's a little bit, which is not a big deal. I mean, I can buff that off pretty quickly. Just feeling it, it feels pretty sharp. I think it's right on the edge of shaving. It'll probably shave. I don't know that it's going to be super, super sharp, but it does feel like you could probably shave with it. Look, overall, I like the look of the knife. It's a little different from what I'm used to getting. So let's see if I can get the whole thing in frame here. I'm kind of up close to the camera there so you can see the detail, but I'm not sure how I feel about this kind of like ripple effect in the spine that they have going on here. You can see it, you know, in the profile of the spine of the blade. I mean, it doesn't look bad. It's a little different. I don't have anything else like that, so it's not something that I don't like necessarily, but I don't know if it's something that I'm a huge fan of either. So let's see. Liner lock, of course. It felt like it closed pretty good. Like I said, that leather is going to have to come off. It definitely closes easy enough. I mean, that drop shut is pretty good there. You don't have to do much to close that for sure. It wants to close more or less on its own. I mean, there I didn't even really move the blade; it just fell. There's a little bit of play in this blade, side to side. So they may actually have this pivot pin maybe a little too loose. I think that could probably be tightened up a little bit because there is some play there. And of course, with how quickly that's dropping, it wouldn't hurt to tighten it up just a little bit, I'm sure. So I probably will do that. I'll probably go ahead and just tighten that a little bit, see if I can reduce a little bit of that play from side to side. But it's not that bad considering. Yeah, this thing, I'm so used to closing a knife by pushing on the spine. With this thing, I've already hit my fingernail several times. So that is, I always close the knife in a way that if the blade does shut, it's going to hit the nail and not cut me. But yeah, I don't know. First impressions, guys, I think it's a pretty nice knife. Now, I'll give you an idea of what this thing's running. So the Damascus Sitivien that I showed you, the Praxis on an earlier video, that thing runs right around, I think, $80 right now, something like that. This thing is running right at $40. So you're looking at half the price. You still kind of get that cool Damascus look. Now, this is a lower layer count, so you get a different effect. Some people like it more. Some people don't like it as much. They like the higher layer count. It's really a personal preference. But I think it looks pretty good. I will say that I do like the look of my Sitivien better. But this is still a pretty sharp looking knife. Yeah, I don't really have any complaints in that department. Again, you got that kind of file work on the spine. That's pretty cool. Blade looks good. I don't know. I'll have to tell you guys what I think about it once I've had some time to actually utilize it and use it. Again, it comes with a leather sheath, I guess, if you will. I don't see any use for that at all. I'm not really sure. I mean, hey, it's an added bonus, I guess. If somebody would use it, you've got it. You could probably find a use for it for something else. I don't know that I would use it with this knife. Probably a knife that doesn't have a belt clip already on it. The belt clip kind of makes that useless, in my opinion. This is bothering me enough that I'm probably just going to take it off right now on camera. Usually I wouldn't do that, but if you're somebody who likes that or you think it adds anything to the look, you could leave that on. I think it looks better without it. Again, I don't use lanyards though, but this thing does come with a lanyard hole. So if you're somebody who likes to use a lanyard, it's there. Again, you've got the file work there that looks sharp. You've got the low layer Sanmai construction with the Damascus. And I've been using that term just in case anybody's watching who doesn't know. Sanmai is simply just a kind of a sandwich technique. So you take harder steel for your center of the blade, which is where your sharpened edge is going to be, and then you basically sandwich it. If that was the meat of the sandwich, the bread is the two softer steels on the outside. Usually it's a softer steel on the outside. In this case, they actually just used a low layer count Damascus as the bread on that sandwich, or the cladding on the outside. It's a age-old technique. It's a good technique if it's done right. Of course, you're looking at a $40 knife, so I don't know really what standards they're living up to there. But first impression for $40, You got a nice looking knife. If you just wanted something that kind of looks nice, you can carry around with you, but it's not going to break the bank. This thing seems like a pretty good deal. I mean, I'm looking at these screws. None of them seem loose. They're not perfectly flush, so there is a little bit just sticking up, but not enough to really create a hot spot or be annoying. And maybe I can get out my Torx wrench here, screwdriver set, I mean, and maybe tighten that up just a little bit and see if that would get that to come down flush a little better. Of course, you're not going to be flush on the pivot pin. That's not unusual. You know, the belt clip's tight, doesn't feel loose. As far as build quality, it seems good. Just like my other Sitivien that I have. For the price point, it seems like their quality far exceeds the price point. So, guys, that's this knife. Just got it in today. So far, liking the look of it, thinking it's well worth the price. So I'll let you guys sound off in the comments if you want to, or any other thoughts that you might have. But I might follow up with it a little bit later on after I've had some time to put some use into this and let you know what I think of the actual quality of the blade itself.